Thank you for watching a new video blog. Today from Almaty, Kazakhstan. So what do I think? What is my impression about Almaty, Kazakhstan? Now this is my third day here and I must say I enjoy this city. Personally, I prefer a city that is not so touristic, like for example Istanbul or Tbilisi, because I don't get bothered that much here. The city is not really, has its focus not on tourism yet. Maybe they will in the future. It's a more normal city, and yeah, for a person like me who is just like a nomad, is not really a tourist, it's pleasant because I don't get bothered anywhere. They're not trying to sell me things, they're not trying to get me into shops. For me it's quite a pleasant stay. But if you're looking for a city where there are tons of touristic attractions, I would not say that this is your first choice. I think there are better choices if you have to choose. But I must say that this is a very interesting city and a very interesting country. Suddenly I felt the need to explore Kazakhstan, and I thought, well, start with Almaty, because that's, or was, the capital city. They now changed it, but this was always the capital city, and I believe that still it feels like the capital city. Yeah, behind me is the big mosque. First of all, yes, this is a Muslim country, but it doesn't seem like they are practicing a lot. You don't see headscarves, you don't see a lot of mosques. Just this is the first mosque that I've seen. It seems like they're not practicing as much as, for example, in Turkey, where you can see mosques on every street corner. You hear the prayer the whole day. It seems like a more lenient country towards religion.
Help our friend Jonathan and like this video. Subscribe to this channel and share the videos. Blessings from Almaty, Kazakhstan.
Now I find it very interesting here. I've always had an interest in Kazakhstan because I feel like it's like a bordering country with the West, or maybe let's say the European or white world. So I am European, of course. I am white. If some would say, I would rather say I'm European. I'm fairly brown by now, so I don't get the white moniker from, I don't know what people based on. But so for me it was always an interesting area where Europe crosses Asia. And if you're thinking that this is a very multicultural country, or if you expect here to find some sort of mixture between these two, I have to disappoint you. This feels really like an Asian country. It's bordering to China, and I see really not a lot of difference in the people. These people could all be Chinese, regarding their looks. If you drop me here and would say, oh, you're in China, I would say, oh yeah, I definitely can agree on that. So if you expect some kind of exotic mixture between Europeans and Asians, that's not really the case. While it was what I was expecting here, I was more expecting to find a blend between a lot of cultures, but I can clearly see that there's a separation. Maybe not necessarily because of political or ethnical or that they dislike each other. People seem very getting along with each other, but it's more like you can see that they are keeping to their own racial or ethnical group. Because there are about 15 or 20% of Kazakhs are Russian. They are of course the Europeans, the whites. You can see them here on the street. It is sort of like you're in China, but suddenly there's a lot of Europeans as well. What I notice is I don't see any mixed couples here. I don't see Kazakh people having children or having families with Russian people. They seem to be very separated. So I found it hard to call this really a multicultural country, because I can see that they're sort of living together but separately. So they keep to their own ethnical group. Also what you will see is Turkmenic ethnicities, like Tatars, for example, from Turkmenistan, or people with a more Turkish appearance. But that's a minority. People from Azerbaijan, for example, it's a minority. You don't see them as much as the Russians. but you do see them. It's a blend, but the majority is just Asian. I mean Asian like Chinese. I have to make it simple because otherwise you cannot understand, because India is also Asia and they look different. But I can say that they are related probably to Chinese DNA. So they are genetically very related to Chinese people. Almaty is interesting, like I say. I found it interesting to see the Russian culture here. The language is very dominant. It's more dominant than the Kazakh language, I've noticed. So if you want to get along here, you need to speak Russian. That's number one. Very few people understand English. It's not very common that people know any English. So be prepared if you want to go here. Know some Russian words. Know to say thank you and some basic things that you can get along here. I found it very safe. I have not anywhere felt unsafe. That's maybe because, yeah, it is a Muslim country, so probably the rules are strict here. I also noticed that the women are not wearing headscarves, but they dress decently. They don't dress provocative. Well, that's what I like. That's why I think it's a good country. The weather, it is now March and it's 25 degrees. It's very warm. I'm dressed, you know, I have too much on today. I could better do without the jacket. But it's warm, but it's pleasant. I noticed that the humidity here is not high, so it's warm. But if you get in the shade, you feel already better, and you can cool down that way. A pleasant temperature now, but it can also be very cold here. It's like a continental climate, I guess that's what it's called. So very cold winters, very hot summers, very good spring, and probably also very good autumn. Like very clear seasons. Like I said, it's March, so the trees are still, you know, there's nothing, no leaves, but you can feel really already, yeah, it's spring. And unlike the Netherlands or Germany or the UK, where there's so much rain, I haven't had rain for all the days that I'm here. There's no clouds in the sky. They also don't have the airplanes. Nowhere to find here. It's crazy, yeah? Although we're very close to a big airport, major airport, Almaty. No things in the sky. So that's interesting. Now price-wise, yes, it is better than in Europe. Price-wise, it's not extremely cheap. It's not like Thailand or something, or what is it, Philippines. Eating out is quite okay. I paid like 10 euros for a steak, 2 euros for a soup, a very nice goat soup. That is also something amazing here. They eat a lot of meat. You can get very good, healthy quality meat. Try the horse meat, very good. I had a beautiful steak, $10, 10 euros, very good. That's a great thing. You can eat a lot of meat here, very easy to find that. Now the city itself, there are a few nice touristic attractions, but I must say that yeah, it's not really a tourist hotspot. Tbilisi, where you have more clubs maybe, or places to go out. You don't really have that here. It's really a city where people work and live, and not very focused on tourists. Maybe they're slowing, improving, but I see more tourists from India coming, and they're more like 2 days visiting and then leaving again. I'm not really a tourist, I'm more staying in places to just to experience how it is. Overall a grey city. Of course now it's still winterish, so there's no greenery. It must be very green in summer, I guess, but the buildings are a typical Soviet communistic style. A very beautiful city in that regard. And but it looks well maintained. It doesn't look poor. I have seen, for example, Istanbul and Georgia. They were much less well maintained. Much more buildings that were collapsing. Here you don't see that at all. They maintain the buildings. The streets are clean. Also well maintained. You don't see a lot of holes or parts missing. It looks quite well maintained. So that's a good thing. Also what I like is that you can walk a lot broad streets, very easy to walk. There's no like steep hills. It sometimes goes up a little bit and goes down a little bit, but better to manage them, for example, in Tbilisi, where you have like steep hills, and then you have the steep hills down with these like slippery rocks, and here it's all like concrete, straight lines, very easy. You can jump into buses. They have a lot of buses. Taxis, I don't see any of them on the street. I haven't found one on the street. Oh, there they go. I think it works with an app. I tried to use the app, but they didn't allow me. Probably because I'm not from here, so you know, it's better to be prepared for that. But they have the little, like, what is it called, motor pads. Maybe you see them there across the street. Well, they're like the little scooters, but I haven't tried them as well. Probably very sure that they're also with an app and I cannot connect to the app. Now the last thing that I really like here is that I do not get stared at. In many countries I get stared at because I am blonde, I am you know, exceptional looking, blonde hair, blue eyes, European, Northern European. There are not a lot of them on the world, so basically in all countries where I come, people you know, stare at me, and they will come up to me and ask where am I from, Norway or Sweden or whatever. Here this is totally not the case. I don't get stared at by anybody because they're used to have Europeans around them. Russians, like about 15 to 20% is Russian here. You can see them here everywhere walking, and they're sometimes even more blonde than me. So I feel really at home here because I don't have these stares or people. Yeah, and that's something that I like here. I can be just normal, be just like I'm back in the Netherlands, and not be like stared at and not be constantly approached because of my the way I look. So that was it for today from Almaty, Kazakhstan. I say thank you for watching and see you next time.